Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 5.
And breaking overnight, a tornado touching down in Reno, killing 2 people, injuring dozens of people, and causing severe damage. We have multiple crews live in Reno on this devastation. Now, we're going to get to that in just a bit. But first, I do want to say good morning to you. 5 a.m. on your Sunday morning. I'm Alex Houston. This morning, I'm also joined by KOCO's Jessica Shambach. She is live in Reno with our team coverage. So let's get straight to it this morning. Storms devastating part of Oklahoma last night. We got Jason Hackett right there on screen. Let's get straight to him. Jason, where are you at? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm standing in front of what is left right now of the America's Budget Inn here in El Reno, and you can see right behind me, there's not much of it left. Significant damage here to this building. This is right in front of a trailer park. There's a trailer park immediately behind the building, but not much left. You can see just a devastation there. That second floor completely knocked down here. We spoke to the owner of the motel earlier tonight. He tells us, as far as he knows, no casualties inside of his hotel. He tells us the worst injury that he knows of is somebody with a broken leg, but that could all change as the sun comes up. I mean, the sunlight is going to be crucial in this situation to see and to assess the damage, to see how many more people are injured and God forbid, how many other people are dead here. But this is what is left of this motel here. I mean, this tornado coming through and just absolutely devastating this area, and that mobile home park back there didn't fare much better in this situation. We're working to get some more information, and as I said, with the sun coming up, more will be revealed out here, but you can see this hotel here, this motel here, basically a complete loss, Alex.
I mean, that is so hard to see this morning. We also have KOCO's Patrina Adger with us. Patrina, where are you at this morning? What are you seeing?
Alex, we're at the Skyview Mobile Trailer Park, and take a look here behind me. This is all that's left of it. Straight back, as you can see there, it is flattened. This whole area is pretty much unrecognizable. There's apparently another hotel over here. That's actually where Jason is. And then that mobile home park that's back there, it's again unrecognizable. Now, I actually spoke to a man who was out to eat with his buddies. He actually lives back here. His trailer park was damaged. He went out to eat. One of his friends stayed behind. He said he was at the restaurant and they had to take cover there, but his friend was actually inside when that tornado hit. It actually lifted him up in the trailer, that man, and then when it came back down, that's when he ran out and went for cover. I'm not sure if we have that sound. Do we have that sound? Do we have that interview? Okay, it doesn't sound like we have. Okay, it doesn't sound like we had that interview, but we'll bring that to you later on. But it was just, he says he just can't believe that when he came back, that's actually his home. So a lot of people just not even able to go back there and see what's left of their home because, you know, this is all blocked off here. You see this tape here. But again, that's a hotel, that's the trailer park right behind me, and again, it's unrecognizable. We're talking to folks who are just not able to go back there and even see what they have left, Alex.
Patrina, I can't even imagine what these people are going through right now. And of course, we're going to get to that video in just a second that you were talking about. But for now, I want to go out to Christine Stanwood. Christine, you're in front of a dealership in El Reno. What are you seeing this morning?
Alex, that's right. It's hard to tell, like Jason mentioned, because the sun is not up. So we've tried to shine our lights as best that we could. Let me show you just how significant those winds were when this tornado ripped through. You can see the structural damage to this dealership. I'm told by one of our first reporters on scene, Dylan Richards, that crews were going in and out of this building periodically, unsure of exactly what they were going in for, but he did witness that going on. Now, I can see a lot of debris around me, something from like dealership flags to also metal piping. It just shows you that debris was whipped around this area significantly. This is just northeast of that trailer park home. Now, we're going to continue to find more damage like this. It was absolutely startling when you drove into town and you saw just how completely devastated El Reno was in just such a short amount of time. It just takes your breath away. Alex, we'll continue to follow this and we'll continue our team coverage. Back to you in the studio.
Christine, thank you. You guys stay safe out there too. And if you guys are just joining us this morning while you were sleeping, a tornado going through El Reno. Right now, 2 people are dead, several people are injured. And like you saw in those live shots right there, so much devastation that they're dealing with. But also there was devastation around the metro last night. Many tornadoes touching down in different areas. I want to see if we can bring up this picture. So this right here is from Lieutenant Jeff Sproul. He actually works with the Oklahoma City Police Department. He posted this storm damage. This is south of the OCU campus in a neighborhood. Now there's no significant structural damage, but you can see that downed tree right there. That shows you just how high those winds were last night. And what you're looking at right here, this is in a Piedmont neighborhood flooded with water. This is between Mustang and Sarah Road. Again, so many of you heard the sirens go off last night. We got so much rain, tornadoes touching down in different parts of the metro. And Eric, we are still dealing with rain in certain parts of Oklahoma this morning.
Yeah, still some showers and thunderstorms, and some of them strong to severe across northern Oklahoma. You can see where those thunderstorms are up toward the Alva area. That is warned on for hail up to 1 inch in diameter and some 60-mile-an-hour winds. Heavy rain moving through Ponca City into Newkirk. This is going to hug the Oklahoma-Kansas border as we head through the morning. If we could jump over to WSI-2, it will show you where those thunderstorms are on this radar and the motion of that. That is going to continue to move off to the north and east, but you can see that little hail core just north of Camp Houston. We're keeping a close eye on that. Showers and thunderstorms with some pretty good rain associated with them going to be possible up until about 9 o'clock across northern Oklahoma. The areas in green this morning. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to see those temperatures warming up into the 80s. The heat, the humidity back in the forecast for today. Also have another chance for some severe weather out into the Oklahoma panhandles this afternoon. 75 degrees by 11 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 80 degrees. We'll see those temperatures up to 82 by 5 o'clock. We're talking another round of severe weather. This is going to be a little bit later than it was yesterday. Enhanced risk back into the panhandle. We're talking overnight, a squall line moving into western Oklahoma once again, and not quite going to reach Oklahoma City. It does come with a tornado threat. This is going to be back into the panhandle. About a 2% chance for some brief tornadoes in western Oklahoma. We're going to keep a close eye on this. We'll keep you covered, and we'll keep you informed as we go through the day as well. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a look at your full forecast and talk about the severe weather chances for the rest of the week.
All right, Eric, we appreciate our whole storm team just keeping us updated through all this devastation. Now, I want to get out to KOCO's Jessica Shambach. She is field anchoring this morning from El Reno. And Jessica, you're in front of a Shell gas station. What's going on there right now?
Alex, that's right. So we're staged right here by this gas station, but if you look across the way, that's actually Highway 81, and then across Highway 81, which is closed right now off of I-40, the interstate, that's where you'll see all of this devastation, the mobile home park that was hit so hard, as well as that motel. And if you bring it back over here, across the highway, you can see some of the damage that was thrown so many yards over. This looks like some sort of vinyl siding that's kind of wrapped around this utility pole. And then if you look down on the ground here with me, you can see all of this wood that was just sheared here as you make your way through. Look at this piece right here. You can see the structural piece on here that keeps the wood together, that it's bent. There, the National Weather Service, they're going to be coming out later taking a look at this damage so they'll get a better idea of just how strong this tornado was. And this was considered a brief spin-up tornado, and look at what it can cause. And it's so interesting when you see all of the damage, and then look down right here, you see somebody's keys that are just shoved into the mud there, and it's just hard to believe, what will end up over here. Something small, something large that's been ripped from a building. We don't know if the wood is from businesses over here. There's mobile homes over there as well, and it's a large mobile home park. It's a devastating scene out here. Again, 2 people died, and we know that there are several injuries as well. At this point, we're waiting for more information from the first responders here on scene. I actually went into the gas station and talked to a couple of first responders who are here from Weatherford. They said they were called in, as well as the National Guard. They said they were deployed by Homeland Security to come out and help. They have a FEMA trailer And so they are equipped to come out in situations like this and respond in any way they can. This has been a search and rescue operation. At this point, we don't see much movement behind us where we are right now. We've had crews here for several hours, and they said at one point this was just loaded with first responders. Some of them may have been told to go to another area of this central spot where we're standing, because this is what was hardest hit, and some may have been released as well. But whenever the sun comes up, they'll have a much better idea of just how devastating this is out here today in El Reno. And you know, so this is what, 6 hours since this tornado hit, and as of about 4 o'clock, our crews said that's when they started to see some of the first responders leave at least this vicinity right here. And we're going to have some more information coming up from crews in the next couple of hours as we learn if this is still a search and rescue operation. As of 2 a.m. when we had that last press conference, that's what the mayor said, that they were still looking. They were actually going through the records of the motel, and they were taking a look at the cars that were in the parking lot so they could cross-check and made sure that that everyone is accounted for. They want to make sure that if they can get to someone, if there's someone that's trapped inside, that they can get to them and they can save them. Now, like I said, that was at 2 a.m. and so here we are now in the 5 o'clock hour, and we don't see as much activity on this side. Behind me, you may see some of my colleagues who are standing by for live coverage as well, but there's a whole path that we can't even get to. From what we understand, the mobile home park on the other side of Highway 81 is very large. And we've heard that there were several injuries at this point. We talked to the owner of the motel who said that there really weren't any injuries that came from the motel. He also told our crews that no one died in his building. So we're awaiting word to find out where those injuries came from. Did they come from the mobile home park? And also the deaths as well, which is just the most heartbreaking thing to hear. When you come out here and you see this devastation, all of this can be cleaned up, people can rebuild. But to hear that lives were lost, that's the hardest part of all of this. And Alex, I'm going to send it back to you now in studio. We're going to stay out here, keep gathering information for you. But as the sun starts to come up in the next couple of hours, we'll have a much better idea of just how bad it is. And let me tell you, it looks pretty bad in the dark when you see it firsthand. Alex?
Jessica, I can't even imagine. Like you said, they're having to search the cars in the hotel parking lot just to make sure that everybody's accounted for. At this moment, 2 people did die from that tornado. We're going to go to break real quick, and we'll be back with our team coverage.
I saw like it all turned black, and I saw like a little pinch of something like flipping on top of our trailer, and then I just felt a really big shake and I just fell over right next to him. I was on the ground, and somehow I protected another thing, and that thing will attack. It kind of doesn't matter, and it kind of does at the same time, but yeah.
My dad lifted up part of a trailer and the roof of a trailer. He was scared. He's strong.
Oh, just devastating. Those children going through hard times last night. A tornado hitting El Reno Saturday night. This morning, we know that 2 people killed in that horrific storm. Our team has been there all night. That tornado ripping through a car dealership. KOCO's Paris Jones assessing that damage last night at the Dodge Jeep dealership. Take a look at this.
Just take a look at this. The window in this brand new truck is gone. You can put your hand right through it because of that tornado. The wind blew right through this window here of this brand new truck on both sides. It's on this side, so I can put my arm right through here. There's also something in the truck part.
Now that tornado just causing so much devastation in El Reno. We know that a trailer park has been devastated. A hotel has been devastated as well. Now, the city of Coyle also evacuating overnight. The Coyle Volunteer Fire Department posting this information on their Facebook page, saying that the water is rising so quickly it is crossing XXX south of Fitzgerald Creek. The town of Coyle has issued a voluntary evacuation notice, and they are strongly encouraging everyone in that lower part to evacuate. Now, Eric, we know that there's severe weather expected today. So much severe weather that we dealt with through this week. The tornadoes last night. What are we looking at this morning? Still stuff on the radar.
Yeah, we're not done with the rain and severe weather today in Oklahoma. Dealing with some severe weather right now across northern Oklahoma, just north of Camp Houston. You can see a severe thunderstorm warning issued for that area. hail up to 1 inch in diameter and winds up to 60 miles per hour. Tornado threat is really low across northern Oklahoma this morning, but the possibility for some heavy downpours, hail up to 1 inch in diameter and winds up to 60 miles an hour. That's going to exist up until about 9 o'clock before these storms continue to just kind of fall apart. Here's a closer look moving into the Alva area. Those magentas where that hail core is, probably going to see a little bit of that small hail there in the Alva area as we head through the morning hours. Here's a look at those storm chances up until about 9 o'clock. Woodward, Alva, Enid, Stillwater, Ponca City, and Bartlesville. Not everybody going to see the rain, but those of us that do, very heavy rainfall associated with these storms this morning. Severe weather threat going to come down as we head through the morning into the afternoon, but ramping up again tonight. Still looking at the possibility for some flash flooding. This is in effect until tomorrow morning, and we're going to keep a close eye on it. Here's a look at that severe weather risk for today. Notice late evening and through the overnight hours. Not expecting these to fire up until late this evening across the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, Guymon, Beaver. Underneath that enhanced risk, 3 on a scale 1 to 5 for the amount of severe storms that we could see. This does come with a tornado threat, especially back into the panhandles. We're going to have to use some caution. Make sure you're checking back for updates on this. And then overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll see a squall line coming through. Here's a look at a tornado index. Eric, Elk City, up toward Woodward, Sealing, Visai, back toward Beaver. Underneath that 2 on the tornado index, that scale 1 to 10, up to a 6 back into the panhandle. So not done with severe weather yet. 9 o'clock, 72 degrees. South winds around 15 miles per hour. Shorts and t-shirts. Once again today, that humidity going to be there. 80 degrees by noon. Winds out of the south around 25 miles per hour. Hot and humid. Feel like temperatures by noon already up into the mid 80s. That air you can wear stuck across Oklahoma once again today. 3 o'clock, 83 degrees. Winds out of the south around 20 miles per hour. You might need the sunglasses today. A few peaks of sunshine going to be there as we go through the afternoon. A little bit more than what we had yesterday. High temperatures. 84 at OKC, and as well as Enid, 86 in Lawton, 82 in Clinton. Here's a look at the timeline for these storms. Panhandle, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then after midnight, this is going to continue to move off to the east. Alva, Clinton, back toward Altus, Hollis, Elk City, underneath that 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. time frame. So most of your Sunday going to be hot and humid with a few peaks of sunshine. Late this evening, overnight, we're going to have to watch out for some more severe weather. Make sure you have a way to get the alerts. Download that KOCO5 News app. We'll give you that information when it happens. We're not done with the severe weather. We'll have a risk once again tomorrow across western Oklahoma. And then as we head into Tuesday, really going to see our severe weather chances ramping up as we head into Tuesday. This does come with a tornado threat across central Oklahoma. Enhanced risk. Ponca City, Stillwater, Tulsa, and Bartlesville. That 3 on a scale 1 to 5. Still going to have the chances for severe weather over the next 3 or 4 days. Make sure you're checking back for updates on the forecast. Don't let this be the last one that you see. All of these highlighted red, severe weather possible across portions of Oklahoma each and every day. I know it's a little bit overwhelming, but make sure you're getting that newest information that you can and check back for those updates periodically throughout the day. A little bit of a break Thursday and Friday. Back to that unsettled weather pattern for next weekend with more severe weather possible. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take you hour by hour with the timeline and predictor for this evening.
All right, Eric, we appreciate it. I want to get back to our team coverage this morning. Storms devastated Oklahoma last night. Now, this morning we are tracking damage and flooding. And first, I want to go over to KOCO's Jason Hackett. Jason, you were in front of a hotel in El Reno. That hotel behind you, devastated.
Yeah, it's almost shocking to see. Couldn't believe it when I walked out here. This is the America's Budget Value Inn. This is here in El Reno. It's right off of I-40. If you've never actually been out here before, this place is a hotel that is, or a motel that's frequented by people that are coming into town, business travelers, people going to the Lucky Star Casino, people that are just traveling on Route 66. So this place is a very inexpensive just place to spend a night if you want to rest your head. I can't imagine, people in there just looking to take a staycation, looking, just visiting here in town, and the next thing they know, a tornado is blowing through their rooms, knocking down, almost basically leveling the second floor of this.
Okay, it looks like we lost Jason's shot there. We're going to get back to all of them in just a second. But again, if you're just waking up with us this morning, a tornado going through El Reno last night, devastating the area, killing 2 people. Dozens of people are injured. And you saw that devastation to that hotel right there. A trailer park also just completely destroyed this morning. 5:22 on the clock. We'll be right back with your team coverage. All right, welcome back this morning. We're going to get back to our team coverage in El Reno in just a bit. But first, I want to show you devastation that we saw throughout the metro this morning. Take a look at your screen right here. Meteorologist Michael Armstrong was in El Reno as that rain came pounding down in storm command. You could just hear how hard that rain was last night, all that thunder and lightning they were going through as well. Also, I want to go to show you this picture as well. This rain not slowing down last night. This was near Frontier City. Meteorologist Michael Armstrong also driving in that storm command as that rain just intensified. And if you guys were watching the weather last night, you know that there was many spin-up tornadoes across the metro. And of course, El Reno saw the worst of it last night. And what you're looking at right here, this is from the northeast Oklahoma City. This is the Everest Baptist Church. And you can see that those winds just ripped apart that sign right there. And Eric, the sad thing is we cannot let down our guard just yet. Severe storm still expected.
Yeah, our weather pattern really not going to change. Actually, I have one severe thunderstorm warning on the board along the Oklahoma-Kansas border, just north of Camp Houston, moving toward the Great Salt Plains Lake. This is going to be for hail up to 1 inch in diameter and winds up to 60 miles an hour. You can see the hail core there, that magenta that is moving right along the Kansas border. This is going to continue to move off to the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Taking a look at times of arrivals, Burlington around 5:40, Byron around 5:57, Sand Creek at 6:34, and Gibbon around 6:40. If you're in this area, it's going to be loud, it's going to be noisy, and we're going to have the potential for those winds up to 60 miles an hour and hail up into 1 inch in diameter. Tornado threat is low across northern Oklahoma. Going to be dealing with that straight line wind and hail threat as we go through the morning up until about 9 o'clock. We're going to hold on to those chances across northern Oklahoma, especially 69 degrees at 8 o'clock. By noon, 77. We'll see those temperatures up into the 80s. Going to be a day where we're going to feel the humidity once again. We'll have some pretty strong winds as well. Here's a look at our severe risk. This is going to be late this evening, 8, 9 o'clock across the Panhandle, and then eventually overnight into tomorrow morning. Altus, Hobart, Clinton, Enid, and Ponca City. Up until about 4 a.m., we're going to be looking at that threat for some of this severe weather. Tornado threat is low. We'll talk about that tornado index coming up in a little bit, but let's walk you through predictor. You can see not a whole lot going on this morning. We'll take you through this evening. 10 o'clock tonight, there's that line of thunderstorms that's going to develop across the Panhandle and eventually move into central Oklahoma. As Alex mentioned, can't let our guard down. We're going to see those severe weather chances all the way up into Wednesday. We'll get a little bit of a break on Thursday, but more ahead. We'll have another look at your forecast and get you out the door with your commute forecast in a few.
Eric, I want to take you guys out to El Reno right now. We'll take a look at this. This is so hard to see this morning. That tornado just devastating parts of El Reno. This is what we know right now. 2 people are dead, dozens of people injured, and just severe damage. This was a hotel that you're looking at right here. This was the American Budget Value Inn Hotel in El Reno. We have KOCO's Jason Hackett on that scene. And it's just no more. You can't even tell it was a hotel. Just absolutely heartbreaking this morning. 5:28 on the clock. We're going to be back in just minutes with your team coverage from El Reno. It is 5:30 on your Sunday morning. I'm Alex Housden, joined by my other colleagues this morning as we bring you team coverage covering that awful tornado that went through El Reno last night. We have KOCO's Jessica Shambach field anchoring with me this morning. And Jessica, just devastation there.
Oh, it's just horrible to see, Alex, whenever you're on I-40 and then you drive over here to El Reno and you see the lights in the distance, your heart just kind of sinks because you know what's coming up. As you're looking over here, that's the interstate. So I just want to give you the lay of the land to see just how close we are to the interstate. You may see there's a couple of semis driving in right now. Highway 81 is the exit here. It's blocked off. You see the emergency flashing lights there. Police have the highway blocked off. And this is why, because of the sheer devastation that is not too far from the interstate here. Just a couple of hours ago, we had a chance to hear from the city of El Reno. The mayor specifically gave us an update on the situation ongoing here after a deadly tornado came through about 10:30 last night. Take a listen.
We do know there's been a tornado hit. We do know the time it was hit at that point in time. We do know that there was significant damage. Going through it, it's very traumatic. Pray for us here. The main thing is that we have to stick together. El Reno's very strong. We're a very strong, vibrant community that depend on each other. So I know people want to help.
Hearing from the mayor of El Reno there saying that it's a strong community. Let me tell you, they have been through a lot over the last week. They've been dealing with flooding issues out here in this county. And you know, there was a deadly tornado that came through here 6 years ago, and it was devastating. And here we are today. That deadly tornado 6 years ago was on a Memorial Day, and here we are, Memorial Day weekend, yet another deadly tornado. Look at some of the damage. So across the way, you'll see the motel and the trailer park, and we're probably, I would say, a little more than 100 yards away, if even. And then, so look where we're standing here. You can see just some of the debris that made its way over here. No doubt parts of perhaps that motel and perhaps parts of the mobile homes as well. And we'll kind of walk back here just to give you an idea. Look at this piece of wood here. I mean, it was just thrown right into the ground. Now this one I can wiggle. There's a 2x4 over there that it is shoved into this muddy ground here. It just kind of gives you an idea of how strong the winds were, the force. Look at this piece right here. I mean, you can't even move it. You can't move that at all. It is stuck in here. And so that was just thrown over and forced into the ground by the strong winds that came with this tornado. And this was a quick spin-up tornado. It's hard to believe when you see the damage. That goes to show just how strong this tornado was. You may have seen this American flag that was tattered here. We're not really sure if these flags are kind of lined up in a row, if they were here maybe put for the Memorial Day weekend. It's interesting to see that, you know, a couple of them, one down there is just standing straight up. And then if you look over here and you see this just skinny tree, that's just fine. You would think something like that would be broken in half. But when you come out to scenes like this, you may see something like that seems so weak, just standing just fine, and then a structure that seems so strong, just demolished. But it's the people inside that you really worry about, the lives that were lost and the injuries as well. We know people were taken to hospitals around this area, and in the next couple of hours, we should have a better idea of how those people are doing, and also if everyone is accounted for. This has been a search and rescue operation for hours after this tornado hit. Our last update was at 2 a.m., and we should hear from emergency officials at 9 a.m. In the meantime, Alex, we've seen a few people kind of come and go from this gas station. We're going to keep trying to talk to people and learn more information. For now, I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
Jessica, just a terrifying night for everybody in El Reno last night. And we do know that one of the places that was hit really, really hard was a trailer park in that area. So I want to get out to Patrina Adger. She joins us live this morning. And Patrina, I mean, it's just gone behind you. Devastating.
Alex, it's just so hard to believe that this is what El Reno looks like. I was just out here Friday talking about the lake level there and how they were closing Lake El Reno for Memorial Day, and now this is what El Reno looks like. This is take a look at what the trailer park here behind me looks like. It's unrecognizable. I mean, you can't even see any trailers. We spoke to actually 2 men. Actually, there were 4 guys. 3 of them went out to eat dinner. One of their friends stayed behind. And the tornado hit, their friend was inside. I want to let you listen to that sound that we have right now.
When we were eating, they just rushed us to the kitchen over in the city, and he called us saying that the trailer was shaking, everything was breaking, and after that we lost communication. We just got back now, and we came to nothing.
So you all live together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you here for work or?
Yeah, we're here. We're here for work, and yeah, just all our stuff is gone. We're in shock.
Salí corriendo a meterme en el...
Yeah, he was in the trailer and everything was, he was frightened. And as soon as he got a chance, he ran out, tried to get into the mobile park, his storm shelter. And there, he just rode it out until...
So the trailer didn't, he wasn't inside the trailer, it didn't pick him up or anything like that?
He was in there, and when it dropped back down, he was able to crawl out and get in.
Unbelievable. So that man was actually inside of the trailer when that tornado hit. He was inside. The force lifted him up inside the trailer, and then when it came back to the ground, he got out of there. He says he's okay. His friends are okay. They were all out to dinner, like he said, and they had to ride out the storm inside of a restaurant. I want you to take a look at some of the debris here. This is the shingles from probably one of the buildings here behind me. Like I said, there's a horn going off here. I'm not sure. There's a vehicle where the horn is going off, but that's the hotel that's right there. And then again, that trailer park is right back there. I mean, it's just a mess here. It's just shells of buildings, debris everywhere. And folks are going to be coming back over here wanting to get back into their homes to figure out what's going on and what they have left. And we're waiting till daylight to see exactly what is left. Alex.
Patrina, thank you. You guys stay safe out there. And if you're just joining us, this is off Highway 81 in El Reno. We do know that 2 people are dead, dozens of people injured from this. That hotel just devastated, that trailer park just devastated. And I actually want to get out to KOCO's Christine Stanwood. She joins us live from the VFW this morning. And Christine, that's where they're holding people right now as a temporary shelter.
Alex, that's right. This is acting as an American Red Cross shelter. I just stepped inside where I saw cots full of children who are finally now getting some much needed rest. It was quiet in there. People are scrambling to figure out what exactly is next. Meanwhile, American Red Cross workers who I saw sitting down at tables drinking water, finally able to take a break now that those young children are able to rest. Now, I did speak with the auxiliary president of the VFW. She says they need your help right now. What they need are workers needing fire-resistant clothing, diapers, PJs, any sort of toiletries like shampoo, conditioner, socks, underwear, and that's where you can come in and help. If you're able to today, come out to 1515 South Rock Island at this VFW in El Reno. Donations are needed to help these victims of this tornado, and you can help. Now, I'm told that a lot of people are going through some medical issues too. They do have some nurses on staff here, but one man who has recently had a stroke had to abandon his medication. And so that's in part of the damage that's in where the tornado hit, and he doesn't have it. So he's still waiting on that. Meanwhile, I am told by the auxiliary president that the pregnant woman thought she was having contractions inside the VFW. Turns out from that president, she told me that it was just her being scared. This is very devastating for many of those here in El Reno, and they do need your help. So if you can, donate your time, donate your money, and please come out here if you can. Reporting live outside the VFW, Christine Stanwood, KOCO 5 News. Alex, back to you.
Christine, we appreciate it. We know so many people will step up to help. Again, that is 1515 South Rock Island. That is the VFW acting as a temporary shelter. So if you can help, that is where you can take things. I want to go over to KOCO's Jason Hackett now. Jason, you were still in front of that hotel. And what's amazing here is that hotel is 2 stories. And now look at it behind you. It's awful.
Yeah, Alex, here the contrast is pretty striking. I want to show you. This is before. This is what the American Budget Value Inn looked like before. If we can get a good tight shot on that, you can see that awning right there, a beautiful pristine building. And I'm going to step out of the way so you can take a look at that building right now. This is what is left of American Budget Value Inn. You can see that second floor basically gone, just a pile of debris and mess out here. This building basically destroyed this morning. Just to give you an idea, this building is right off of I-40. It's very popular with people looking for a quick, cheap stay. This is not a very expensive hotel. You can stay here for just a couple of bucks if you're visiting the casino, if you're visiting the OKC Metro. It's Memorial Day weekend. You think of that. You think of people coming here to vacation and visit. They're laying their heads on their pillow one minute, and the next minute a tornado is ripping through and just uprooting their lives. So we spoke to the manager of this inn just a few hours ago. He tells us, as far as he knows, nobody was killed here in this inn. The only injury he knows of is a employee that was working the night shift. She was in here. The tornado blew through. She ended up breaking her leg. She was brought to the hospital. He was saying, as far as he knows, people were huddled inside the bathrooms here, riding out the storm. He says that's the safest place here inside of the inn. And when they stepped out, this is the image that they saw. This is the devastation that they saw. So we've been saying all morning, we're waiting for the sun here to come up, hoping that sunlight doesn't reveal anything worse than this. As I said, the motel owner, the inn owner said that no casualties, no deaths here. But you hope that when the sun comes up, it doesn't reveal a much worse situation. Again, this is what's left here of this American Budget Inn. Not much. That second floor, that sign, just completely unbelievable to see here. Breaks your heart to think about what the people in that inn were going through when this tornado blew through, Alex.
Jason, and it's a night that they will never forget. Every single person who was in that inn, again, they were sheltering in the bathroom. No casualties at the inn, but we do know that 2 people did die from this tornado. I want to get over to meteorologist Eric Garlick. Eric, not good news. There are still storms on the radar this morning.
Yeah, dealing with a couple severe thunderstorms across northern Oklahoma, not near central Oklahoma, but this is right along the Kansas border. And the good news is this looks like it's coming down in intensity a little bit, but still the potential for some hail and some very heavy rainfall out of this. You can see the track of this in those magentas indicating where we did have some hail earlier. That is coming down, not as much magenta, indicating that hail core is coming down. Times of arrival, Walden around 6:18, Gibbon around 6:40. This is all moving off to the east at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. So a pretty quick moving storm, but it is going to dump a lot of rain in areas where we don't need any more rain. Storm chances up until about 9 o'clock. Those are going to be with us across northern Oklahoma, Stillwater back toward Enid, Ponca City, and Bartlesville. Taking a look at our forecast here in Oklahoma City throughout the day today, 75 degrees at 11 o'clock. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid, very similar to what we had yesterday. A little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine. Those winds still going to be strong, though, 20 to 25 miles per hour, 82 degrees as we head into the evening. Here's a look at that severe weather risk. This is going to be late this evening and overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll see those thunderstorms firing up as we head toward 9 o'clock across the panhandles. That's where we have an enhanced risk, 3 on a scale 1 to 5 for the amount of storms that we could see. Tornado risk is highest across the panhandle. Low tornado risk across western Oklahoma. The areas in yellow, Woodward back toward Eric and Elk City. Going to be a 2 on our tornado index, but we're watching this very closely as we head through the day today. Make sure you're checking back for updates. In a few minutes, we'll take a look at your full forecast and let you know the best chance at seeing severe weather and when we need to really pay attention. We need to pay attention today, but our severe weather chances increase later this week. We'll talk about that in a few.
Right now, we're getting a live shot right here. And just look at this devastation. This is what we know this morning. 2 people are dead. Dozens of people are injured. And as you can see, areas just completely devastated from this tornado. That tornado blew through around 10:30 last night. And again, it was just a quick spin up tornado, but look how much damage it did. The American Budget Inn is what you're looking at right now. It's completely devastated right there. The Skyview Trailer Park also devastated in that area. We have KOCO's Jason Hackett out there, KOCO's Patrina Adger, KOCO's Christine Stanwood, and also have KOCO's Jessica Shambach out there field anchoring. I actually want to get out to KOCO's Christine Stanwood right now. Christine, you're at the VFW that's now acting as a temporary shelter for people who were at the trailer park or that hotel.
Alex, that's right. And just moments ago, I stepped inside and I saw so many children still fast asleep. These are some of the victims of the tornado who are finally getting some much needed rest. But these victims, they need your help. I cannot reiterate this enough. They need your help. Here's what they are asking for from the auxiliary president at the VFW. They need diapers, PJs. For any workers who are out here, they need hard steel-toed boots. They also need fire-resistant clothing, shampoo, conditioner, socks, underwear, those basic necessities that we all rely on. These victims need your help, and you can drop them off right here at 1515 Rock Island at this VFW. They told me that you can come right up, donate your time, donate your money, donate your energy, anything that you can do to help these people. They're asking for your help. Some of these workers that I've seen are completely drained, so they're relying on some extra support to help lift them back up. Now, I've spoken to some people who have actually had some medical issues. A man who had a stroke last week, he says that his medication is still missing. Also, a pregnant woman, she is still she was so scared that she thought she was having contractions, but it was just that fear of that tornado coming through. So still a lot of help that's needed out here at the VFW. If you can, donate your time this Sunday morning. They need your help. Reporting live outside the VFW, Christine Stanwood, KOCO 5 News.
Right, Christine, we appreciate it. I know so many of you want to help right now. I want to get out to KOCO's Jessica Shambach. Jessica, you have somebody with you right now. Who are you talking to?
Yeah, Alex, that's right. So you see this big rig right here. Well, we've got Matson Thomas. If you want to chat real quick, he just popped out of the semi because Matson, you had stopped here at this gas station, which, by the way, is just across from the most devastating part of this tornado. You stopped at the gas station. Right. You were done for the night with your driving. Yes. And tell me what happened, what you heard, and what you saw.
Well, the truck started shaking, and it just got black. All the lights went out, and the rain just started coming down heavy. Felt like you were like under an ocean because the rain was coming down so hard. It was just a lot of rain, and the truck started shaking, and I said we were in a tornado. So I got down in the truck on my knees. 5 minutes later, well, I closed my eyes because I was scared, and I got on my knees and just. I don't really know if I prayed. I was just scared. And next thing you know, the truck was just shaking. And the wind, you could hear the wind. It didn't whistle, but it was just heavy wind. It was just wind. And the lights went out. Everything went out, just went pitch black. And it passed. And when I looked up, I looked straight across there, and I noticed 2 people out there with flashlights. But I never looked to my right side, from the driver's side, and noticed this thing wrapped around this pole that almost hit this truck. And I didn't notice the hotel that was gone because it was so dark. That's it.
It must have been terrifying for you.
Hey, I was scared. Yeah, I was scared.
Were you asleep when it started to happen, or were you still awake?
Well, I was asleep, but what woke me was the trailer was rocking, the truck was rocking, and I'm like, okay. And I got up and I called my old lady. I said, Lisa, we're about to have I'm in a tornado. She was like, nah, you not. And I said, I'm in a tornado. And she said, well, what are you going to do? I said, what can I do? I'm in the middle of it. And went down on my knees and I got off the phone with her and it passed. Just like I said earlier, it just happens too fast.
How long do you think it lasted?
Maybe, it seemed like a long time, but I think it lasted maybe 1 minute, maybe a little bit over a minute. It just happened so fast, and it was over. But the damage, gosh.
It's one thing to see tornado damage on TV. It's another thing to see it firsthand.
Yeah, it's bad. And this truck didn't get touched at all.
And isn't that amazing? You're just across the street.
I'm right across the street from it, man. It's like this gas station didn't get touched. Nothing got touched over here. All the wood flew right over to my truck, but nothing got touched on this side. That side there, the windows are blown out, as you can see. And
And Mattson, as we're talking to you, we have our Sky 5 showing us the aerial views. Now the sun's coming up, so now we have a better idea of what the damage really looks like. We've got Sky 5 flying overhead right now. Let's go up live to our pilot, Chase Rutledge. And Chase, give me an idea of what you're seeing from the bird's eye view.
Hey, good morning, Jessica. Yeah, from this vantage point, the devastation is incredible in this, just in this small area right here, with the trailer home to the southwest, and then through that hotel area, and then into the dealership. And I can tell you, the debris field from this extends for miles to the northeast. So this was a devastating tornado, and like we said, a deadly one. And it's really hard to see this kind of devastation and know that a couple of people lost their lives here, and we're gonna continue to fly around. We know that this tornado tracked a little bit further to the northeast. We're gonna look further to the northeast and see if we can find some more damage. We did see a house that was damaged by this tornado, so we're gonna look at all of this. But it's hard to explain. It's hard to even talk about when you're looking at a deadly devastation like this. Jessica?
Yeah, Chase, and now with the daylight, we're getting a better idea of just how bad it is, and we're learning more information as well. We were just talking to Mattson, the semi-truck driver, and he talked about a piece of debris that came awfully close to his truck, and you can see there's some sort of vinyl siding over here. Maybe we can walk over here and get a better look at some of the debris. Looks like, look, there's some shingles right there from a roof. We got to kind of walk gingerly. It's a muddy mess out here, and there's nails, there's wood that's just sheared, and you see this tattered flag right here. Let me pick that up. There were some flags that perhaps were posted up here maybe for the Memorial Day holiday, and this one is just tattered. Let me get that off the ground. But this is this siding that no doubt came from across the way and just wrapped around this utility pole. And if you look up, and you can see just cables and wires just hanging from there. Let's see if we can walk around this way so you can get a better idea. Now that the sun is coming up, this is kind of a media staging area just across from really the hardest hit area, and that is the motel and the mobile home park, the trailer park. And then just off to that is a car dealership that looks like it hardly had any damage there. It's just amazing to see what is hit so badly and then what was spared as well. Let's go back into the studio right now where Alex Housden is standing by, and she's been anchoring this coverage for you this morning. Alex, it's just heartbreaking. The most heartbreaking thing to hear is that 2 lives were lost when this tornado hit.
Jess, it is heartbreaking. I can't imagine what the family and friends of those 2 people are going through this morning. But right now we're taking that look at Sky 5 of that trailer park right now, and it is just devastated right there. I think I'm going to go out to KOCO's Patrina Adger. Is she ready to go out? She's in front of the trailer park for us this morning. Patrina, what are you seeing where you are right now?
Well, Alex, it's much brighter than it was just a few minutes ago, so we are getting a better picture of what this area looks like. Take a look. You can see it now. Just absolute devastation here. That trailer park in the back there, just leveled beyond recognition. I want to kind of take you over to this mobile home park. You can see a stairway that leads up to the 2nd floor, which is no more. You can actually see individual rooms. You can see belongings inside. If you come down a little bit more, that hotel, this is all right next to each other. That trailer home park and then this hotel is all right next to each other. It's just a pile of debris. There's a vehicle here, over here, that's got busted out windows. We've seen cars here. There's a car, as you can see right over there, that silver car with just debris toppled on top of it. It is just unbelievable what it looks like out here. Now, we saw the National Guard out here. They had what appears to be some dogs. We understand that there's still a search and rescue effort. We are not under any type of understanding that has been called off yet, but we did see some search and rescue dogs out here along with the National Guard and the Oklahoma City Fire Rescue teams out here. So again, I just wanted to take a kind of a pan of what this area looks like. There's the car dealership there. The sign is just busted out through there. If you pan over a little bit more, there's a building there where the roof is completely off. There's metal, wood, debris all over this section here. And again, we're just getting a better picture of kind of what's going on here. I spoke to some men earlier who say that they were at a restaurant. They want to kind of get away for a little bit. One of their friends actually stayed back, and when the storm came over, he was in that trailer park, and when the storm came over, the trailer actually lifted up, put him back down, and then when he realized he was on solid ground, he ran out. Luckily, he and his friends are okay. They told me they haven't been able to get back in that area because, again, it is blocked off. You can see the tape here. We're not even allowed back there because there are crews in there still trying to assess what's going on, if there are people that they still need to recover from here, if there's someone trapped. We're still trying to get that information. And so folks, now that it's daylight, in a few hours, they're going to be able to be let inside to see actually what's left of their place, Alex.
Karina, and if I still have you, I have a question for you. I know you've talked to many people out there. Do you know if a lot of people were able to get into shelter? I know it all happened so fast.
Well, by the time that we got here, the only people that were here were the men that we actually talked to earlier, and they told me that they had a place to stay. So I'm not sure if they're actually going to the shelter at the VFW where everyone is being instructed to go, but they were all here together. It was 4 men, and they're actually friends, so they said they actually had somewhere to stay. But again, those are the only people that we actually saw here. There wasn't a lot of people that were here when we got here to determine where they actually went for shelter.
Okay, Patrina, we appreciate it. I want to go up to Chase Rutledge in Sky 5 right now. Chase, I mean, this devastation, hard to look at from above.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. It really is, and it extends a lot further than what we're seeing here. We're seeing some other businesses across the street. This car dealership obviously took a big hit and a lot of devastation here, and it's going to be a big recovery process for them. One thing I do want to point out, though, is just right across the street from this car dealership is a large apartment complex, and it looks like it was untouched, and that's good news. If it had hit that apartment complex, who knows how many more lives we're talking about, more than just the 2 that were lost here. So that is a good news story. But yeah, just complete devastation down there, and we really have to think about the workers that have been working all night long on recovery, on trying to do search and rescue, on trying to find other victims and taking care of making sure that everyone else is safe in this area, clearing roads and all those things. So, you know, hats off to them. We really appreciate everything that they're doing. But, you know, like I said, this damage extends further to the northeast, and the debris field is even bigger. And so as we're looking around the area, and our team on the ground is able to find those places that are the pinpointed spots where the tornado went through and did the most devastation. But what you're not seeing are the other areas, the small areas around here. There's a business right across the street to the northeast of the car dealership. Looks like one whole side of their business was just blown out. And so this is going to be a big recovery process. Fortunately, it's just confined to this one small area, and this wasn't a long track tornado, but still dealing with a lot of devastation this morning in El Reno and loss of life. Alex.
All right, Chase, if I can still have you up there, how widespread is this? I know you said it is a smaller area, but I mean, now that it's daylight, is it looking bigger at all?
Well, I mean, it really does. If you look at, I'm still trying to determine where the tornado actually touched down, and Eric might be able to help me out with that. But right here, this concentrated area right here where the mobile home park is, and the hotel and the car dealership, that obviously took the majority of the brunt of this tornado. But as it extended further to the northeast, we're seeing other small spots that were also damaged, also devastated. And I know that they're going to systematically start searching all of those areas just to make sure that they have covered everything, making sure everyone's safe. But yeah, this, as the sun's coming up and shedding some light on this, we're seeing a large debris field more damage than what they, what they were seeing when it was dark. And now that it's light, the ground crews are going to be able to have some more light to be able to do their searches and make sure that everything is clean, everything is taken care of. Alex, back to you.
All right, Chase, we appreciate it. I actually want to get over to meteorologist Eric Garlick right now. Eric, we've been saying all morning, this was a quick spin-up tornado, but that's how much damage one can do.
Yeah, Alex, you can see the amount of damage that was caused by that tornado. And just to give you a perspective, this is where the Skyview Mobile Home Park is, and the dealership is in this area as well. That motel that Jason Hackett is right in front of is right there. So we're thinking that we have some damage south of 40. I don't know if Chase can confirm that, but the indication on radar was it formed south of 40, moved across 40, over 81, across 66, and then moved off to the north and east. It wasn't on the ground for long, and it didn't travel very far, but you can see very strong winds from those pictures coming from Sky 5. Damage like this is caused by a significant, potentially violent tornado. And, based on the classification, the National Weather Service has to get out there and, take a close look at this damage, see how well those buildings were built and all of that stuff. But you can see that damage just very extensive coming from Sky 5. We do have some weather on the board this morning. Some thunderstorms across northern Oklahoma. Did have a severe thunderstorm warning on this for 60-mile-an-hour winds and some hail. That threat has come down, but frequent lightning and some very heavy downpours across northern Oklahoma going to be associated with these as they continue to move off to the east around 35 to 40 miles an hour. Rain chances going to be across northern Oklahoma as we go through the morning. This is up until about 9 o'clock. Then we'll get a break. We'll get a little bit of a break today, but more severe weather possible as we go through the overnight hours. Flood watch, flash flooding still going to be possible across northwestern Oklahoma. This is going to be through tomorrow morning, and we'll probably see it extended. Enhanced risk, 3 on a scale 1 to 5 for the amount of storms that we'll see back into the Panhandle. That's going to be after about 8, 9 o'clock this evening, and then move into western Oklahoma 11, 12 o'clock tonight. Tornado index is a 2, Woodward down through Elk City. A little bit higher, a 6 as you head back toward Guymon into the Texas Panhandle as we go through the overnight hours. Today we'll see those temperatures up into the 80s. We have to be weather aware. We're going to continue to get information on this, and we're going to continue to cover the damage that was done last night. Make sure you keep it with KOCO 5. We'll continue to keep you updated.